Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a gang leader, has been arrested on suspicion of murdering the iconic hip-hop legend Tupac. Shockingly, Davis admitted to being in the car that shot at Tupac in 1996. The recent arrest has brought a mix of emotions for Tupac's stepbrother, Tupac Shakur, who describes it as bittersweet after 27 long years of waiting for justice. Las Vegas detectives have faced criticism from Tupac Shakur, who believes they took too long to bring charges against Davis. The gang leader, who has been boasting about his involvement in Tupac's murder for years, was finally apprehended by the detectives and charged with murder using a deadly weapon. In an interview with CNN, Tupac Shakur expressed his frustration, saying, "We have endured decades of pain. They have known about this individual who has been running his mouth for years. So why now? For us, this is far from over. We demand answers and want to know if there were any accomplices involved in this crime." The arrest of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis may bring some closure to Tupac's family and fans, but the questions surrounding the case and the search for justice continue. The investigation now shifts focus to uncovering the motive behind the murder and identifying any potential accomplices who may have been involved in this tragic event. Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DiGiacomo described Davis as the on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the death of Shakur. Davis was denied bail by Clark County District Judge Jerry Weiss. Homicide Lieutenant Jason Johansson called Davis the leader and shot caller during a press conference on Friday. He admitted that many facts of the case were known to cops in the first few months of the investigation, but they reinvigorated their efforts in 2018. Johansson said the police department knew this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge after Davis made admissions to his involvement of the homicide. Police believe Davis obtained the gun that was used from a close associate, but declined to give any more details, saying they would come out during the trial. Sheriff Kevin McMahill added that the case was far from over, saying they are working to build a successful prosecution. A Nevada grand jury indicted Davis in the killing after being seated for several months. Davis was arrested while on a walk near his home. He has spoken openly about being at the scene of the drive-by shooting 27 years ago and admitted handing the murder weapon to a fellow gang member. Davis is the only one who was in the car that night who is still alive. District Attorney Steve Wolfson said, "It has often been said that justice delayed is justice denied. In this case, justice has been delayed, but justice won't be denied." A Netflix documentary previously named Davis's nephew as the shooter, with the gangster bragging about his involvement in the killing of Tupac in books and interviews. The Compton Crip gang leader even wrote a memoir confessing to his role in the fatal shooting of the hip-hop legend. He claimed in the 2018 documentary that he was riding in the car with his nephew Orlando "Baby Lane" Anderson and handed him the murder weapon before he fired. Cops say that Davis started to devise a plan to kill Shakur and Marion Suge Knight after they attacked his nephew at a Mike Tyson boxing match. They added that the rapper and his manager were with members of the Mob Piru gang and knew that the shooting was a gang investigation from the offset. Davis is the only one of the 3 suspects who was in the car that night who is still alive. LVMPD confirmed that Davis handed the weapon to a fellow gang member in the rear of the car when he opened fire on Shakur. Shakur was 25 when he was shot 4 times in the chest on September 7, 1996, while he was in Las Vegas. He died on September 13th. Davis wrote in his 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend, that he was in the Cadillac involved in the shooting. In the book, he said that he told authorities about his involvement in the killing in 2010, during a closed-door meeting with federal and local authorities. They promised they would shred the indictment and stop the grand jury if I helped them out, he wrote. At the time, he was 46 and facing life in prison on drug charges when he agreed to speak with the authorities. The arrest comes 2 months after Vegas cops raided Davis's wife's home on July 17th, looking for items concerning the murder of Tupac Shakur. Authorities seized multiple computers, a cell phone, and a hard drive from the property, and a Vibe magazine featuring Shakur. They also took several .40 caliber bullets, 2 tubs containing photographs, and a copy of Davis's memoir. Insiders to the investigation claimed in August that homicide detectives were optimistic about bringing a charge in the case. Sources told the U.S. Sun that the district attorney's office was set to present their case to a grand jury last month. They added that a criminal case was expected imminently, and they were looking at first-degree murder, potentially for Kef D, based on Nevada law. Metro Police investigators made long and careful considerations over moving forward on the case, saying that they did not enter into the investigation lightly. They knew that the world would be watching if they took any action against Davis, a source said. They do not want to make any missteps. A separate source added that Keefe's gloating had talked himself into huge legal trouble. Who knows what Keefe will do, they said. Maybe he might try to negotiate a plea deal. The attention globally on the DA and police department will be extreme. September 7th marked the 27th anniversary of Tupac's death, with the California love rapper dying after being shot by a semi-automatic pistol. Davis wrote in his memoir that he helped secure a gun to murder the rapper as revenge for him beating up his nephew, Anderson. Anderson tried to steal a Death Row Records medallion from a member of Shakur's entourage, which was affiliated with LA gang The Bloods. Shakur and his entourage then beat up Anderson at the MGM Grand later that night after watching a Mike Tyson fight. The rival gang, the Southside Crips, were out for revenge after Anderson was attacked. Davis revealed in the Netflix docuseries that they hopped into their Cadillac to find Tupac after the beatdown, knowing he was due to perform at 662 Club that night. Anderson denied any involvement in the Shakur shooting. He died 2 years later in a shooting in Compton, California. Davis detailed how he helped to coordinate a team of fellow gangsters to kill the rap idol and described throwing the Glock pistol into the back of the Cadillac. Anderson sat in the back with another gangster, with Davis confirming that shots were fired at Shakur from the rear of the vehicle. They happened upon Shakur and his entourage by chance, claiming that Shakur was reaching for a weapon before he was killed. His side fired first, and he admitted to hiding the Cadillac and the gun after the shooting. Davis said in the memoir that he had the car repainted, repaired, and returned to a car rental firm, which made forensics tough to pin down. The full admission appeared in the chapter entitled The Main Event in Compton Street Legend. Shakur was in a BMW driven by Death Row Records founder Marion Suge Knight in a convoy of about 10 cars. They were waiting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up next to them and gunfire erupted. He was shot multiple times and died a week later, with Davis admitting in 2018 after a cancer diagnosis that he was inside the Cadillac at the time of the shooting. Shakur's death came as his 4th solo album, All Eyes on Me, remained on the charts, with some 5 million copies sold. Nominated 6 times for a Grammy Award, Shakur is largely considered one of the most influential and versatile rappers of all time. He was feuding at the time with rap rival Biggie Smalls, also known as the Notorious Big, who was fatally shot in March 1997. At the time, both rappers were in the middle of an East Coast-West Coast rivalry that primarily defined the hip-hop scene during the mid-1990s. Shakur accused Biggie and Sean "Diddy" Combs of being behind another shooting in 1994. He was shot in a hotel lobby and was seriously injured, but survived the attack, accusing both of the rappers of being linked to the